friends. Welcome back to Attacking Third. This was quarterfinals eve / extra time eve. We're going to break it all down for you. We have a great show. Darian Jenkins joined by McCall Zerboni, Sandra Herrera. We're going to chop it up about the quarterfinal match reactions, all this hella extra time that was going on. We have a special player interview and then our quarterfinals best 11. And if you're watching with us on YouTube, jump in the chat, let us know what's going on, or listening as a podcast and watching on Glossnet. Thank you for tuning in. We appreciate you being here. So brackets busted. All of our brackets are completely busted. We have to give a special shout out to Christine Cupo because hers is the only one still intact after the quarterfinals. So want to give her flowers. I know she's in the comments topping it up about it, but is this at all what we could have expected from the quarterfinals? I mean, let's talk about extra time first. Like, my God.
Listen, there's nothing that says NWSL playoffs and just like posting through it. And I definitely was. I think at one point I posted I was like, nothing says American soccer culture like a 100-minute regulation game instead of a 90-minute regulation game. Or like American soccer culture to me is a number 8 toppling a league winning.
We love an underdog around here in this country.
Yes.
So good. I love it. Best brackets busted, sure. But just like playoff heart full of joy.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, just like Jayden Shaw said, like they're not the underdogs, right? But we love a Cinderella story. We love to attach to those things, and the more meaningful it is, the more dramatic it is. USA, baby. We love the drama.
Yeah. This is what people look for sure.
Let's go sports. Okay, everybody, appreciate you staying with us, especially after all of that. But let's jump into the game that just happened. Thorns take down Wave 1-0 with a beautiful goal from Raylan Turner. Olivia Moultrie, once again, the one bobbing, weaving, dishing, setting up all of their goal-scoring opportunities, and Raylan Turner wide open on the back post. And although this was an ugly game, let's just be real. It was not that enjoyable of a game to watch. When I think about Portland, similar to how I thought about Louisville, they put together a full 90-minute performance. Fully. A young team, defended well, knew when to, sit low, when to attack, still were going at it at the end. To me, this is a massive team win. Just even taking out, yes, they're advancing in playoffs, but McCall, I don't know if you felt the same, even though it was kind of an ugly match.
I mean, if I didn't know anything, I would have thought this was number 3 versus number 4, or number 4 versus number 5, because it just seemed like very even, not much going on, like kind of canceling each other out, nothing really sticking out. And so for me, I was just like, anyway, is something going to happen, But I think what was special about it is anytime you get a goal in overtime, extra time, that shows the mentality of the team, that shows the grit, the fitness, the perseverance. And, Portland has kind of shown that all season long. So I think the narrative wrote itself eventually. But San Diego hung in there. But that's exactly what they did at the end of their season. They were just kind of hanging in there when they started so strong. I mean, I had them possibly winning the Shield at the beginning of this season. And then they just kind of tapered off and hung in there.
This is also going to be the moratoriums, right? For the teams that we're also saying farewell, absolutely 100% here to celebrate, everyone who's going to advance to the semifinals. But that also means we're saying goodbye to some of these other teams along the way. The Wave being one of those teams. I mean, talk about flipping the script for sure. Not so much a team that folks maybe might have thought they were going to have the run that they did in this regular season to make themselves not only just quarterfinalists but a top seed heading into the quarterfinals. And it's just it's tough to see the performance. That's soccer though, baby. It's just you got to finish your chances or get cooked, and to see some of what we know Cascarino is capable of, Kenza Dali, Maroney, Gia Corley, honestly, as well for me, players that this franchise went out and made sure that they signed, still delivered, and we're this is what's going to be the future of this Wave franchise.
Even Dree Leone just did not look about it. For the last 3 or 4 weeks, she just did not look into it, wasn't putting her best foot forward. And I think when she's having a heyday and she feels good about herself or feels seen or what have you is going on there, she can be very effective. To your point, Sandra, just adding to players that were kind of underperforming.
I just kind of am like, when it comes to the playoff pick, like new playoff, it's like any player, and all the two of you can speak to this better than I can, but it becomes like this new thing. Like the regular season's over, it becomes a new series in front of you. Like, and to your point earlier, McCall, about like, you know, 4, like feeling like more of a 3 versus a 4 versus like a 3 versus a 6, because it's like all these margins and everything just get more narrow when you're talking about this playoff. So it definitely was a game of momentum, even though there were moments of like, who's going to make something happen here. But as far as like waves of momentum, like there were definitely ways where I mean, no pun intended, going to San Diego. Yeah, that was an accident actually. And then other times going towards the Thorns. I mean, look at that quick start in the extra time. It was really all they needed.
I mean, Kennedy Wesley had that screamer too. And she even looked surprised after. She was like, yeah, I don't know, I just hit it. Which I love those reactions. But I agree with both of you. I think this was the most even match. Like McCall, you said it could have been 3-4 or 4-5. That's truly how it felt. These are teams that tied earlier in the season. But now for Portland, and just how young this team is, to have that under their belt at home, at Providence Park. McCall, you've been a player at Providence Park. What it means, what it feels to rep the crest and hear the fans behind you. I just think that their 12th player helped them so much. And also that turf, because that turf sucks when you're the away team. You're not used to it at all. And I think we saw San Diego kind of struggle with that at times. But there were a lot of opportunities for handballs. Yeah. I thought the one against Brianna Reyes was for sure a handball. And that would have changed the entirety of this match. Did you guys think it was a handball?
But, you know, building on that home court advantage, you know, the referee is a human being too, and will feel that noise from the crowd. But what I was going to lean on earlier was, you know, Portland being such a young team, that's usually when young players panic, is in the playoffs. They're like, oh my gosh, this is a one and done thing. I feel the pressure. I feel the stress. But that's when your 12th man, your fans come in and you realize it's bigger than me. I need to get outside my feelings right now. Whatever I'm feeling, how nervous and scared I am because I'm young and I've never done this before. When you have a crowd like, you know, the Thorns behind you, you're just like, it's bigger than me. And I've got to get out of my own skin, and I've got to play big, and I've got to go hard. Whereas I feel like in some of the other quarterfinals, we saw those young players who have not played in NWSL playoffs yet sort of have those panicky moments, sort of make those mistakes and let the moment be a little bit too big for them.
I do wonder if, I don't know, I would love to see some more of those shots where it's not just like slowed down, like frame by frame, because it's like you slow it down frame by frame like that, you're like, oh man, that's definitely a handball. But yeah. I do wonder if there was like this mixture of like seeing the defender trying to get the arm behind the back at the moment, with like the fact that the call on the field was not a penalty. And maybe like to your point, McCall, it's a high stakes game. They're humans. Refs don't want that smoke either. And they're just like, well, it wasn't called a pen on the pitch, and I sent it to VAR and they said it's not. Carry on. Go.
It's so funny. I was thinking about this like before the match started, because I was watching the other games and I was like, respect to referees. Honestly, I don't think we give them enough. Their best game means that you don't notice them at all. And they're trying to ladder climb too. They're trying to have good performances so they keep getting booked for championship games and big games and, you know, climbing up to whatever league they want to be in. But how they do their best is by not being seen. Does that make sense? So it's kind of like this weird dichotomy where you just, the best game a referee is going to have is where you don't think about them or you don't say their name at all.
True.
And it's such a tough place to be in.
It's tough. You're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. But we love the referee love, because that's a tough position that, hey, I don't.
And that was hard for me. That was hard. You know my yellow card history. I've got a lot of beef, y'all.
I do know your yellow card.
Goodness. Part of it. What did you think, Dee? Was it a pen for you?
It was a pen.
You're a striker. You're like, give me that line it up for me.
That's a pen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel
arm
like
was out. Yeah. I mean, yeah, I was shocked it was just over so quickly. Like, I think if there would have been a little bit more time, it would have been called a penalty. But because it was just, let's keep it pushing.
The smoke. But for all my athletes out there or non, try to jump without using your arms.
Yeah, it's tough.
Honestly,
It's hard.
she's trying to leave to get her leg out there to block that cross. It's really difficult, like a pencil to like go up. Like it's going to be out in some regard, right? So I think they did kind of give some leniency, knowing that she was trying to make an athletic play.
Well, let's talk about the Wave, because this is a team that I really had high hopes for coming into this. And everybody in the chat, I see you, a lot of people are saying the Wave got robbed. I mean, yes, I agree on that penalty, but they didn't have an answer.
You got to execute.
Like, you got to execute. They did not have an answer. They let go of the momentum. I think once Delphine, once she stopped cooking, when they didn't get her on the ball to just go 1v1, I don't think we saw anything really that special from Wave that was convincing for them to move on. I don't know if you both felt the same, Sandra.
I felt spot on. I don't want to harp on too much of what you already whipped up, because you're correct. You're correct, and you should say it louder. And I just sort of kept it short and sweet, where I'm just like, you gotta execute. If in a high stakes game like that, where eventually you get to the point where the game plan starts to shift and fluctuate as well, like maybe you are practicing things, certain tactical things, formational things, and you're like, here's how we want to execute, and you're executing those things, and guess what? They're not working for you along the way, and maybe that goes out the window, and you start trying to roll in the game plan B, C, D, all the way through Z. And if you're eventually getting to a point where you're just like, surely any second now we'll get a penalty and convert, that's not great. So
no,
yeah, if you're banging on a penalty, you need to do a little bit better.
So I understand folks feeling, like they got robbed, but that's ball.
Yeah. If that's what you're planning on, I mean, even if you're planning on like, let's just make it into penalties, even that is just, you're not going to go far in the playoffs. If you don't score goals at will against the other best teams, I'm sorry, that's what the championship team is. I'd like to do my research on this. Like, has there been a team in the NWSL who won the championship and just went to penalties every single game? Off the top of my head, the answer is no. You got to score goals.
If it just never looked that way for the Wave, if it didn't never look that way for San Diego, as if it was truly trending for them, was it the opposite for you for the Thorns? Did it ever feel like, the Thorns are eventually going to get this?
Yeah. To me, it felt like it's only a matter of time. Like the chances, I think, especially Olivia Moultrie, Sam Coffey started to pop up into the attack. They started pressing up a little bit more. They were going long at the beginning, and then they started to actually break San Diego Wave down. I thought, Portland, it's just a matter of time. I think they got it in the bag. San Diego looked so spread out in the second half, and Portland, the better team won.
Yeah.
The better team won.
And you could tell too, like when Dudinha and Cascarino's flip sides, they were trying anything. They were like, we cannot generate any attack right now. Let's try to, at least they tried things, but it just speaks more loudly in a volume that it's like, we were not doing well. We were not having our way with Portland at all and get anything fruitful in the attack.
Yeah.
I did get nervous though. It's playoffs, of course you get nervous. My nerves were just kind of like, well, they're getting good looks, but it's not happening for him. Like Olivia Moultrie, like missing, like it was like her eyes were bigger than the goal, and you could just see in her body reaction and like in regulation, just like she couldn't believe that she had missed a sitter essentially. And it took her a second to just kind of snap out of it and then like go back the other way. But it was that part makes me nervous, because again, it's like we're talking about like you got to execute and you got to finish those chances, because the longer it goes on, the nerves start settling in a little bit. So I'm just kind of like, it wasn't a game where I'm going to sit here and be like, all the quarterfinals, this was like the most, thrilling or most exciting kind of game to watch. But it did have its small moments. And honestly, I would argue that like maybe it had more of the moments of nerves than some of the other games throughout the weekend.
Yeah, I completely agree. And 146 minutes played. Y'all, 146 minutes played for these two teams.
So that's
crazy.
This is what I'm going to lean into, and thank you for bringing that up, Darian, because Orlando is the only team who didn't put extra miles on their body. The only team that didn't run their players dry. And that is something to think about. And yes, they have another home game. I get that. But they didn't, 30 minutes, y'all, like that's, for all of you viewers out there that don't know, 30 minutes is like the maximum 11v11 amount we play throughout the week. Just to get that 11-11 feel, but we won't play any more than that, because it's high load on your body. It's high stress.
And it'll be very broken up. Yeah.
Yes. So, I know you're thinking only 15 minutes out there, but 30 minutes is a lot to play a high intensity 11-11 ball. And Orlando is the only team that doesn't have it under their belt.
Well,
And so
30 minutes
that's an advantage.
and then penalties was Louisville and Spirit. They played 145 minutes and then had to go take penalties, which is so tough. They lost 3-1 on pens, very poor penalties for Louisville. But I also think it's one of those teams where it's first time into playoffs. A lot of these players first times in the playoffs. They're trying to adjust. You've got a lot of fatigue, mental fatigue, and then you've got to hone in and take.
You haven't eaten for 3 hours. Your muscles are shriveling.
Yeah. But you're looking at the goalkeeper you're going against, and you flash back to last season, was a baller in penalties against Gotham. So shout out to Aubrey Kingsbury. But were you guys surprised at how close this match was? Because I kind of busted my own bracket before the show.
You got nervous.
I got nervous. I thought, you know what, Louisville, you got nothing to lose. Spirit are missing Trinity Rodman. It's tough. Who's going to step up and put this team ahead? And I have to get special. I know we're doing our best 11s later, but Rosamond Kouassi was lights out.
I love her.
Kiss led this team as a wing back, pinned back, and still got in the attack. But we have to give some flowers to Louisville. So were you guys shocked that this game was so close?
Not for me. I think in the build up to the playoffs, you don't want to go off of too much history because we all know that anything can happen in the postseason. But, this is a Spirit side that is literally just 1 year removed from like a similar scenario. Like they found themselves going up a pretty hungry 7th seed in Bay FC last year. And they had a lot of inexperience, going into that between, Hirschfeld and, I think at that point it was only like a couple years in for McCall. So it's like you have players who are delivering in these high stakes moments, even if maybe they haven't always found themselves in it. And they handled the business pretty much last year. And I'm like, well, this isn't too unfamiliar for them. And I feel like they'll be able to take care of things even without a Trinity Rodman, because you're adding on that experience from last year, having been there, done that before. Even a Kouassi in that capacity. Like they relied on her heavily, because of some of the sort of flare-ups that were happening in Rodman along the way there too in 2024. And so I wasn't too nervous about it. Not to the point where I wanted to go back on my bracket, but I respect that you did, Darian, because it's like you never know. Like
I didn't know we were allowed to do that. So okay.
Oh no, I just said it in the pod. I didn't change it as everyone had the evidence of going
nothing to lose is very scary, but it is a point and something of value to know that it does matter having been there at least once before. And for Racing, that's not necessarily the case for them. So I hope that they can use this experience and build on it moving forward, because I think it is incredible to see that they were able to put enough together between Bevionez, patching and winding things up and tightening things up along the way with players that they lost to finally break through to the playoffs. But now you need to want more, in my opinion, because what's going to be more mid than saying, oh man, we're the team that is always so close when we were 9th. You definitely don't want to be like, well, now we just want to always be the 8th place team. Like, no, you don't really want to do that either. So I really hope that they can just sort of build on that and get better. I would love to see a longer run for Racing Louisville in the future.
Well, talk about a team that's doing in the long run. Let's bring in Portland Thorns goalkeeper, Australian international, Mackenzie Arnold. Just won the quarterfinals with the Portland Thorns. What up, Mackenzie? How are you? How are you feeling after that win? What up, Earl Gale?
Wow, we got 2 appearances in one just there.
Sorry, what was the question? I missed that.
Oh, you're good. How are you feeling after that win, especially with the crowd behind you?
Yeah, honestly, unreal. I've never felt so much pride behind a club team before as Portland. Like this place, this stadium, these fans are absolutely unreal. And this team is even better. It's such a special feeling.
Yeah, I was, obviously watching the crowd and then realizing you really do have a young and experienced roster, especially given that they haven't played the NWSL playoffs yet. Can you speak to how much the crowd and the supporters mean to you guys in a moment like that when it's neck and neck and getting really close?
Yeah, I think Honestly, I think they've been there for us all season. I think, like you said, we had a young team, and the amount of injuries and setbacks that we've had all season, and we've really had to just rally around each other and to go out and play at Providence every second week or whatever it is, and to get the crowd behind us and push us to so many wins. I really don't know if we would have had so much success at home if it wasn't for them. So, it's absolutely unreal to play in front of them, and I'm glad we could get one last win at home for them.
Mac, thank you so much for the time. I want to ask though, there's always a certain amount of preparation that goes through when you get to the postseason, and maybe it differs a little bit from regular season in that it's more elevated. You're making sure you're tapped into every single potential scenario that you can potentially meet, whether it's through 90 minutes or in this case, like 100 minutes of regulation, extra time, God forbid penalties, right? Talk to me about like maybe flipping the script. Well, how did this game actually feel to you in the moment versus how you all were preparing for it?
Honestly, I think we've approached every single game like as the next match. I don't think we've ever looked too far ahead because, as we just said, our team's so young, and I feel like we could never get ahead of ourselves. I think we were written off pretty early in the season, so we always just focus on the next match and got through that. And I think there's the same approach for this one. It'll be the same approach next week. So I feel like we can't ever look too far ahead just because of the experience and just sort of getting there.
Steady squad, steady energy. I love it. Mac, what was said at halftime? Because I feel that's when you all came out with so much more energy, being much more aggressive going forward, really pinning San Diego back. So what was, the verbiage to put you guys back out for the second half?
I think we sort of went in and we knew we weren't good enough in the first half, but I think the way we defended and the way we held them out, I think really pushed us to sort of just focus on the attack. We knew that we could keep them out for 45 more minutes, but we needed to turn on the attack, and I think that's what we did, and we pushed them further back, and tried to get the line higher, so we weren't just sitting ducks in our half. So I think we really turned it on, and honestly, if it was win or lose, this is going to be our last half of football at Providence Park. So we just sort of put it all out there, and thankfully it paid off.
I want to ask, first of all, though, are you okay? Because you had like a little moment at the end there. We're all just rifling off. Are you good?
Honestly, my head was like a magnet out there. I was like, surely not one more, but no, I'm all good. Thank you.
Okay. Well, go ahead, Sandra.
Surely not one more, and then you kept taking, then you kept putting another one out the face. Jesus. We got to get you a gift basket, maybe with something to put around the ice. Defensively, you've got your center backs and your backs in front of you. For this game, there was a peculiar moment. Folks are gonna always fixate on those things. It wasn't handball, this and that. No matter the result, that's still the call on the pitch. That's still a moment that maybe you have to get your huddle up and refocus. What are you saying to your backs there to kind of stay locked in?
Honestly, it's just like onto the next. I feel like it's the same approach that we do for each game. It's just like, even when Sammy got that call for wanting a penalty, it was almost like you could see how frustrated she was. It's just like we brought it all back and we're like, all right, who cares? Like, we're not going to get it. Let's move on. So it's just like, living in the moment, one moment after another, and just focusing on what comes next.
How valuable do you think it was to just win in overtime and not have to go to penalties and basically not show your hand, right? Not show your shooters, not show which side they go to, not show your ability in between the pipes for penalties. Can you speak a little bit about that?
Yeah, I mean, we had the mentality going in. We were not going to penalties. We were like, this is not going to happen. Absolutely not. Right. We're in the quarterfinals, not yet. So we always had that mentality going in, and we were never. Of course, we practice throughout the week as you do, but it was never a talking point that if penalties come or if it was always just let's win in extra time, and then we can go home with that, and we'll focus on next week. So as a goalkeeper, I don't hate them, but I am thankful that we didn't head there today.
Especially with those youthful legs running around in extra time. Like, come on, guys, we can do this. You guys are young. Go for it.
I was like, just go, please.
Yeah.
I love it. Energy. Mac, before we let you go, I want to ask, is there anyone on your team that celebrates you guys harder than Rob Gale? Because I live for his sideline celebration.
Honestly, I think it was the halftime of extra time, and he came over to me and he was just saying all this shit, and I was like, I was like, whoa. I was like, you calm down. But yeah, he's just as hype as the fans always are. So sometimes it's great. Sometimes I'm just like, whoa, like that was a lot. But yeah, at the end of the day, he supports us. Yeah, one of our biggest fans. So appreciate it.
I love that. Well, we're a big fan too. Mac, congratulations. We'll let you go celebrate with your team.
Thank
and
you,
best of
guys.
luck
Appreciate
next
it.
weekend.
Thank you so much. See you soon.
Oh, I love it. So steady. And honestly, I was dying to ask that question because Rob Gale, friend of the show, we've interviewed him, we've had coach calls with him. High energy man. And I love seeing his reaction. So I wanted to ask her, and she seems like the one that keeps everything
right.
chill, calm,
Yeah,
whatnot.
Grabbing the coach by the collar,
Australian.
like get off the pitch, get back in your box, coach.
Yeah.
I love that.
I was
very
thinking
goalkeeper,
too.
though.
Yeah, I was thinking too. He was the coach to make the earliest sub in the quarterfinals. So to me, that says confidence. Either I'm admitting that I chose someone that I now need to switch, or I'm confident in the choice that I'm making. Either way, he's willing to make adjustments. He's brave enough to coach and make changes. So for me, Rob Gale really stuck out in that way, that he made the earliest sub in the quarterfinal compared to the rest of the teams.
Well, I love that shout because I think when you get to playoffs, you really see which managers know how to manage throughout the game, whether it's 90 minutes, 145, going into pen, setting up your most confident players when their legs aren't tired. And we're really seeing those results. But before we break and talk about the other games, I want to finish our chat on Spirit in Louisville, because for the Spirit and the injuries they have, Tara McKeown went down, Gabby Carl went down. They played 145 minutes against Louisville. What do you think that means for them going forward? Do they have the depth in their squad with the looming Trinity Rodman might be back? I don't know. I thought she was put on the bench just to be a scare tactic, personally.
I'm not just on here rocking this 3 kit for no reason, Darian. Okay? I'm over here.
I rock with Bernal. Come on.
I'm over here for the Bernal breaks, because let me tell you, Gabby Carl coming out of that game, Tara McKeown coming out of that game. Bernal was already having like a game of her life at this
Incredible
moment. And then have to step up in these really, really tough scenarios for this team, like as they're just presenting themselves. Do they have the depth? I guess that's the biggest burning question. We'll see, because they're losing some players in big games. It sounded like in post game from Gonzalez that the McKeown stuff was more of an ankle and more precautionary than anything else. So I think prayers up, right, for that's just something like of a minor tweak in the moment. Yeah, and shout out to Kathleen O'Connor, because Bernal Piquet was also perfection, right? Just executing in all facets that was asked of her. So now I think you're gonna essentially have to ask that player to do it again. So can this player do it again? Like, he's like, hey, so we know you just had like the game of your life. Can you like maybe put that on repeat? Like, and we're gonna find out real quick, right? Because this is gonna be it's gonna be a different scenario going up against the Thorns. It might come down to keeper versus keeper, right? Like, we haven't even had the opportunity to give all that love to Aubrey Kingsbury, and not just any kind of misses, but like 3 consecutive, like
crazy.
Players who needed to step up in very specific times of the game went and did that for the Spirit. And I think that's also a scary notion going up against in the semifinal.
Building on that, though, shout out to our Latinx community in the NWSL. But building on the Colombian, who I did not think had a good match and was quite quiet, considering that I know that Lacey Santos' level is much better than what she performed in the quarterfinal. I think she can do a lot more. She was giving away passes. She wasn't very effective. So I think if she plays her level in the next match, that will really help them as well. As much as she was muted in the quarter, I don't think she'll have 2 games back to back like that, because she's a very quality player. So that will definitely help give them an up and an edge. But I do have concerns about the Spirit with, how many injuries they have, and that they're missing some of their most dangerous and best players. But we're also probably going to get Trin back as well. But I think
I don't know.
You don't think so? I think they were confident enough that they were going to get through Louisville, so they were just like, don't even risk it with Trin.
Yeah.
Like, even when the game kept going, it's like, we know that we're a better footballing team and always find a way. We don't need to put any extra stress on Trin's knee. We will get through this without her. Let her warm up, let her be involved, let her sniff the grass, let her be like in that environment, but we don't need to burn any part of her so she can just light up in the semifinal.
Let her give us the meme of the month. I loved her reactions on the side. I don't know, y'all. I'm worried. I'm worried about the Spirit and some of the knocks that they have. They seemed far more serious. You know, Tara McKeown, I'm concerned. She was in tears.
And she was so good. She was so
She
good.
had an incredible game. Yeah, our best 11s are going to be tough because Washington Spirit's backline was strong. Shout out to Bernal. Okay, well, other backlines that were strong, we're going to be talking about the other side of the quarterfinals after this quick break, so stick with us.
This is European soccer's biggest stage.
Written in the stars! What a difference she has made!
The question is, can you handle it? Can you handle it? The crowd here feels electric. Stream every match of the UEFA Women's Champions League on Paramount+.
Welcome back to Attacking Third, friends. Let's jump into the match that busted 95% of Attacking Third's brackets. Kansas City Current versus Gotham in added extra time. Gotham gets it done with a Katie Stengel banger reminiscent of last year, when Gotham ended up winning it. Shout out to McCall winning the championship. But this is the upset only Christine Cupo predicted, and you baddies out there. I'm sorry I doubted you guys. Credit Christine Cupo. When we think about playoff games, where does this rank as upsets? Is this like number one, number two? Where Sandra, I feel like you've got the memory bank of these. Where does it rank for you?
I think it may have knocked out like 2016 Western New York Flash Spirit, in my opinion. Like that was up there for me. Shout out to you, McCall. Shout out to you.
McCall, you're in that too.
I'm gonna throw it back up in the memory bank for real. Like going into that game, like that team was not supposed to beat that other team, and that's exactly what happened. And that's the energy, though. That is postseason. That's American playoffs, baby. Like you're looking for the upset. You're looking for the quote unquote underdog. You're looking for the Cinderella story. Who's gonna keep dancing? Who's going home crying? Like that's what it is here. And in this case, I guess post 2020 era of NWSL, this new decade of NWSL, this is year 13. This might have toppled that. That might be number one. And number 8, now in a newly expanded playoff format where there's 8 teams that go to the race. And number 8 defeating a number 1, massive. I think that you gave me an idea, man. I might have to do a ranking on that.
Yeah, but Gotham did it in 2023 also. But the only reason I'm going to argue that is because there were signs. Kansas City for the last 3 matches was not looking like their number 1 selves. And I think they've kind of been slipping down the slope, struggling with injuries, trying to find their way without Chewinga, without Michelle Cooper, without some of their superstars. It's not like they were firing on all cylinders, top bins for the prior games right before this. They were kind of playing like a number 3, number 4 team in their results and their performances. And so, yes, by paper, 8 beat 1 today, but the way that they've been performing lately, they weren't playing as a number 1 team as of late.
Yeah.
I think that's fair.
Sandra, we have to give you a shout out though, because Sandra was popping off in the A3 group chat that once we saw Michelle Cooper out with all of their other injuries Kansas City's been dealing with in their attack, let's stay specific, in their attack, you were like, oh, I don't know. I want to give you the floor to bask in your correct prediction.
I appreciate that we do the content that we do. It makes me happy. It makes me smile. I'm like, yes, we're pushing it out. We're making the predictions. We're doing the rankings. We're doing all that stuff. And we're putting our names on it. And I appreciate that we got the brackets out there fairly early in the build up to the playoffs. But as soon as those availabilities drop, and you're like, a shout out to you, Bree. Look, the group chat is sacred and holy, but I will 100% put myself on blast too. As soon as that dropped, I met every single all caps of my oh shit when I saw that Cooper was out. You love her. Out. You love her. That give me how much stock can I buy in Michelle Cooper? How much does it cost? Because I'm so into her too.
I'm
all in.
She
Listen.
made me a believer this season.
100%.
Absolutely.
A star of 2025 for sure. One of the emerging ones. So I just am like,
Bless
when I saw
Michelle's
that,
heart.
when I saw that happen, it just was like, I just was like, you know what, you don't want to count out Kansas City Current because of everything that they put together as a team this year, and all of the records that they shattered and broke, and the new ones that they set, and they did that as a team, and they even continued to achieve things as they were resting some starters along the way. But again, new look season in the playoffs, and you are not going to have a Shawinga. So who else are you going to rely on? And for me, it was going to be Michelle Cooper. I literally at one point was like, they're going to be fine because Michelle Cooper's going to hoop. Then that availability drops and she's out. And I'm like, well, this is detrimental. And it's like, it just, you could see it in the game too. Like they struggled in their setup to how and who was going to be that person, who was going to bring that pop. And it didn't happen until there was this long range banger from Ellie Wheeler. And a lot of that goes on the planning, on the coaching and things like that. You have to set your team up in a way to be successful that plays to their strengths. And it just didn't feel like that was the case for Kansas City Current today.
You just rang my bell with something, Coop with the hoops.
Yeah.
But really, there is nothing like her. I think that they just didn't have what to replace her tonight. Like, I love Bia. I am such a mad Bia fan, but she's not pacey. They needed someone that would break the line in behind, stretch the game. Michelle, we've talked to her before. She literally says, when I see 1v1, I think I'm just going to eat. Like, I square people up and I'm like, I want to eat this 1v1. I line up 1v1s. Like, players like that, that mentality that they just want to attack you all the time and like have such a forward mentality is insane.
Yeah, that's what you want to hear from a forward. And I agree with you guys. Kansas City, without Shawinga, especially without Cooper, they lose the style of play that we're so used to them. And I think even the players watching them, even sending long balls in when it's Bia, you're right, McCall. She's not going to get onto the end of a 60-yard ball into a pocket of space where she has to beat the goalkeeper running out. That's just not her game. And it seems like Kansas City, we're still trying to figure out that new style of play without Shawinga, without Michelle Cooper, that can bomb down those channels or even just straight over the top of center backs. And it kind of it came to be the real reason why they couldn't put away their chances. I mean, Nichelle Prince had that one, which she should have put away. But I think that was kind of their Achilles heels. They really missed that forward that can turn a defense, especially Gotham, that play a high line, not the fastest back line, on a dime. But for Gotham, also, I was wrong again. My bracket is busted. What went right for them today? Because I think it was a managerial subbing that went right, which I've been kind of critical of Juan Carlos for the way he subs. But I just think that they planned it all right, especially without Esther.
Yeah, I think we saw, we did. I think we saw two teams and one coach got out coached. I think that Juan Carlos had his team set up in a way that was way more effective, that disrupted any comfortability for KC Current far more than we ever saw from Kansas City. Didn't really look too fired up at moments, and they looked nervy. They looked like a team that hadn't been here before. And for me, that was the most troubling thing, because this is a team that has absolutely been here before. They went to the final. They made it all the way to the final in 2022. They have been contenders from, last season out to this one, and they still have not been back to that promised land. They're still searching on how to get back there. Yes, they are Shield winners. They won the league. They are league winners. They should hold their heads high and be happy and proud of that. But full credit to Gotham, Juan Carlos Amoros, and the coaching staff. It is una bruja, bro. He's a witch. I don't know how he saw or what he was figuring out or how he was he's like, this is what we're going to do. But part of that too is also credit to the players for executing. We knew that we were not going to see a Gotham team have the performance that they did on decision day in the playoffs. We knew that that's not what was going to happen because of how they were going to try to set things up. And so Emily Sonnet being one of those players I mean,
Take a bow.
Could.
Jayden
I mean,
Shaw,
come on.
Jayden Shaw being a player who's like, you know what? I've arrived. Here I am. Like,
I'm home.
meeting the moments. Like,
Mhm.
that is part of the beauty of these playoffs. So, like, full credit to Gotham. It is a massive upset, and they should be celebrating it as such.
Yes.
I've got to say, Jayden Shaw's post-match comments of, she was asked, what does it feel, to be the underdog and prove everyone wrong? She said, underdog my ass. And I'm so here for that energy. And I know we have a graphic to show that Jayden Shaw said that, but I'm so here for that energy because I think we've been wanting this from Jayden Shaw for the past year and a half, that I saw that energy, and then I think it went away when she was with the Courage, and then she's got a swagger back. And McCall, you can talk about her. You've been high on Jayden Shaw, but I mean, the girl deserves her flowers.
Yeah, Jayden for sure, but just Gotham as a whole.
I love
full credit to Gotham for what they did on the pitch, and she was a huge reason. Obviously, that goal, she just found a little window, banged that in low, past the goalkeeper. And since she has gotten to Gotham, it's the same that's happened to Jalen Howe. They feel like they're at home. They found their place. They enjoy playing in that system around those players, and they are coming alive. And they've both bounced around the league a little bit, both underperformed for their expectation. They've been in and out of national team, and Gotham is their home. But not only what they did on the pitch, for me, this match today, Gotham versus Kansas City, was won before they even stepped on the pitch. And the reason I say that is because it's the total psychology of it. And what I mean by that is Kansas City was a wounded animal, and they knew it. Once they saw that Chawinga was out and Michelle Cooper was out, they said, ooh, we going to cook and we going to eat today. Also, the last time that they played them, they got cooked and smoked. So they had so much motivation where we have to mind all our P's and Q's, cross all our T's, dot our I's, get everything right. And we have all the fuel out there to not get beasted like we did last time we played Kansas City. And we're going to show them that we're better than them. So those two psychological factors there was no way Gotham was going to be defeated today.
McCall, I love it. And now I'm kind of hungry. Let's eat, roast, cook. Come on, McCall.
Hot dogs.
Let's hear the clip of Jayden Shaw though with her post-match comments.
Just like the table doesn't show how good of a team this is. Like I think being in 8th place is like we're not an 8th place team, and like I'm sorry, but like underdog my ass. Like we're not an underdog. We came into this game knowing that people thought that we were the underdog. People thought that we were, just the last seed that barely made it in the playoffs, and like that's not who we are, and we're going to continue to grow as a team, and it's just like I said earlier, only the beginning.
I love it.
Good energy.
I love it. Energy. And Katie Stengel sitting back like, yeah, tell him. Also, Katie Stengel clutch gene? Come on.
I love her story. I mean, do we have time to dig into that? Because she has left another episode, but I'm just going to set the table. She left and came back to Gotham twice, and came and saved Gotham twice. Stangle. I call her Stang. Oh, freaking wild stallion Stang. Like she is just, wow.
I love that it came down to Katie Stengel getting this game winner in the back of the net. Like that is also just like the beauty of playoffs. Like, this is a player who has largely found herself in this position. She's been a role player, since returning back to NWSL. I think prior to that, maybe a sometime starter. We would see that with Utah Royals a bit, but it's like you see this player come back and on a team like Gotham has players in front of her. Like she's coming in off the bench. Like you have to know your role. So just like making sure you're getting out there and executing, like it is just like, yeah, Katie Stengel taking down the Giants of NWSL.
Yeah.
It was right.
I cannot wait for their matchup against Orlando. But let's jump over to Orlando versus Reign. The only thing that went right in my bracket this week, I thought Orlando were going to beat Reign. And guys, can we just talk about Marta? She ages backwards.
That's a whole nother episode too.
True.
There's not enough time.
She's the fittest player I've ever had the honor of playing with. She literally beat everybody on all of our fitness tests. how much of an X factor is she for Orlando? And do you think because of that run, the Luana goal, this game, that it gives them, I mean, could they make it to the final?
It's going to be spicy. Let me tell you something. I think that semifinal between Gotham and Orlando is going to be extra spicy with a side of hot sauce, because between Jayden Shaw's post-game energy and Marta's post-game energy, it's not going to come down to who wants it more. That is not something that we're going to find ourselves.
No. So are we
talking
allowed to
about.
go tactical? Like, are we allowed to say what we would do in order to beat the other team? Or is that just like giving notes to the coaches? Because I think, you know what I'm saying? Like, all you have to think about is the matchup, who to mute, and then, you know, where their weakness is and where to exploit. So for you guys, if we're allowed to do that, how do you think, say we love a Cinderella underdog story, how do you think Gotham is going to beat Orlando at home?
I think Jalen Howell has to have the game of her life,
Yes.
shutting down Marta and tracking Haley Hansen. I think the sixes for Gotham have to show out. If you shut those two down, I think Orlando has a lot of questions of who's going to take this team forward.
And to your point, and just to piggyback on your point for Gotham, I think, like, what version of Angelina are we going to get in that semifinal? And can Haley McClutchian, Haley McCutch, can she do that?
Oh,
again?
Shoot. Yeah, sorry, I said her previous last name.
Can we see her do it again? You know, and it's special watching players come up in big time moments and then asking them to repeat it. It's
that.
Tough. So yeah,
it's tough. It's really tough.
Yeah. How about you, McCall?
If you've got Marta?
Yes, if you've got Marta. But for me, that moment that happened with Marta, two things for me. It could have been way stopped. Foul at the halfway. foul at the half mark. Get a yellow card. Tug her down. And like for me, no. No, but for me, it's a tactical foul. And McLaren, I have her best 11 as in the back line this year. She has been so good. The fact that she couldn't body Marta or slow her down, either with a foul or just shoulder to shoulder or what have you. And then for me, Sam Meza has been really brilliant as well. You don't dive in the box. You just keep your feet moving. You push her to the outside. And I think, yes, Marta is brilliant, no doubt about it. But then the sophistication of the Gotham midfield and players and back line, and Emily Sonnet versus McLaren, that ain't happening. Like a Jalen Howell versus Sam Meza, that ain't happening. You know what I'm saying? So then even if you just go body for body, 1v1s, player for player, Gotham just has stars, bro. They just have the players that come alive in the most important moments, and they don't make those mistakes. Orlando has arguably one star.
Mic drop. I love it. Well, let's talk about Rain. Talk about Laura Harvey. I think tactically, Laura Harvey is a genius. I don't know with the pieces she has right now if she can implement exactly what she wants to. And that's what was lacking for me with Rain. Not even just this game. I'm going to say most of the season. I think, the way that they try to send balls in. Jordan Heidema we're not getting the best out of Jordan Heidema. Mia Fischel, I wonder if it's a fitness thing. Like, is her knee hurting her? Whatever's going on, she has a knock. Why aren't we getting more minutes or better performances from her? Seattle, I can't wait to see what they change next year, because I think they tried their absolute best, but their best just wasn't enough against a team like Orlando.
Yep, perfectly said. Their best all season wasn't good enough. They barely snuck in there for me. Some of the results that they got, I was like, wow, go on. You really, really made that happen for yourselves.
Yeah.
I'm just like, how are the Seattle Reign going to look with a full season with like a healthy Mia Fischel? What does that look like? How does that change things going forward? Even building, how does that look even with someone like Jordan Heidema? How do you function with both of them on the pitch? Do you function with them, both of them on the pitch? Like, those are some of the question marks I think that coaching staff has to, take the off season to figure out. And they will. I mean, like, this is Laura Harvey, man. She's like the winningest coach in in NWSL. I know folks had a lot of fun with all the ChatGPT, you know, and the Seattle robots and how's it going to go. But like, I will be 0% shocked if they find themselves right back in the postseason
Same.
next year,
Yeah.
because that is like, you want to talk about like culture and identities, like that is who the Reign are. And so it's
Scott Parkinson. She has an assistant coach or co-head coach, whatever you call it, that was a head coach in the NWSL for multiple years. Like, he is very good as well. I think what they were able to achieve this year is mainly because of their coaching. You guys are exactly right.
Yeah,
you have to, they'll be back.
Yeah.
They'll be back. Laura Harvey energy. She don't quit. Winningest coach in NWSL history. I'm not worried. I'm very interested to see how they pull up next year. Before we move on, though, I want to give a quick shout out to Lauren Barnes. Incredible career. One of the founding members of the NWSL. Incredible legacy. I mean, McCall, I know you've had a long career with her, but incredible human off the field, incredible human on the field, leader, advocate, trailblazer. I just want to give her flowers. That's the last time we'll see her in the Seattle Reign kit and taking the pitch in the league.
Oh, it was like, again, those are one of the ones that it's emotional seeing them walk away from the game. And that the people have to do it at some point. But when they're such a good person, left such an amazing legacy, achieved so much and was so humble and quiet about it, people don't even know everything that she's done because she's not out there like, blowing smoke about herself. She's just not that kind of person. The people that walk away quietly, do their deeds quietly, like those are, for me, some of the most important people, right? Because they help build up others and they help build this league. And what I loved because now I'm in broadcasting, so I see these things, but what I loved that they did is they ran through all her teammates. I don't know if y'all were watching the game, but they listed every single teammate that she's played with and AKA had an effect on, and like that's the legacy she left. And I just loved that they did that. Loved it.
That was nice.
I do too. Shout out to Funky Old Medina. So Lou Barnes, another end of an era. And I completely agree. But like we said, a trailblazer. She's built this league. And we have some breaking news because players like her have been the result of this happening. According to The Athletic, Atlanta has been awarded the 17th NWSL franchise, y'all. The Athletic broke the news. It's a record expansion fee, 165 pretty ones, $165 million, owned and operated by Arthur Blank's A&B Sports and Entertainment. They also own the NFL's Atlanta Falcons and Atlanta United at Mercedes-Benz Stadium. Hello, I love that. NWSL declined to comment on the matter to The Athletic, but the last women's pro soccer team in Atlanta were the Atlanta Beat. McCall?
You guys,
Rip.
A town down. I had that. Okay, this is probably not a good thing.
I knew it.
But I had some of the. That was one of the funnest seasons I ever played football, and maybe my performance suffered it. But like, it is such a great city. It was my second year pro. I just finished with Los Angeles Soul. They ended up folding, and then I went to play for the Atlanta Beat. So it was like my sophomore year. The fans are great. The grass is always perfect because the conditions there are very similar to North Carolina, which for me is one of the best pitches in the league. Big soccer community, well-funded. It's going to be amazing to have Atlanta in this league in every way.
What a throwback, Atlanta B. I love that. I love that we're reacting to this. It's like McCall's on the episode.
I knew she would have some lore about it.
Perfect. Yeah. I mean, Atlanta Beat too, just like a great name. And like,
oh guys, that's where I have most of my Hope Solo memories is from when we were teammates there, and they're NSFW, but yeah,
I love it.
Great time.
I mean, listen, reportedly. If we're like reportedly, allegedly, whatever, like getting women's soccer back into Atlanta, I think that's great. Like that's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
It's become this, this hub really for just like the U.S. soccer operations in general. So it's like, go ahead, get a team in there. I mean, this has also been a market that has kind of just been like the question mark, like why not? Market, like it's never been like, oh, I can't believe that there's not a team in Atlanta. It's been the like, why not? And like with good reason. There's been a lot of correct energy in that, like, so you all want to talk about being this great market, this great sporting market, this great market for soccer. Why are you not coming correct about women's soccer? So like there's been a lot of correct energy about that. So I'm thankful for that energy. And hey, it looks like it worked out. Sounds like allegedly we're getting women's soccer back in Atlanta. So cue up the naming games. We'll see what it
yeah.
Right.
And please get it right the first time, please.
No one else is making that mistake ever again. Quick note though, it won't play until after the 2026 season, so we will see them in 2027. But I love it. I'm here for it. More women's footy in the US. Let's go. But we're not done. We still have to give you our quarterfinal best 11, so stick with us after this quick break.
And I won't look back, I won't give up. Look, I'm invincible. I'm invincible. Look, I'm invincible.
Welcome back to Attacking Third, everybody. Coming off breaking news that Atlanta is getting an NWSL team. Let's go. Now I have a renewed energy. But let's get into our quarterfinals best 11. And Sandra, you got the forwards this week. So let's start top to bottom. Give us who you got.
Listen, I just want to say thank you. Shout out to Adri. Shout out to like our producers who are like, give us the rundown. I like rarely ever get forward, so this is a real treat for me. And it
You're
also
why
was,
I
like,
have defenders and goalkeeper.
listen, flip the script, right? Playoffs, baby. I gotta say, I also was like a little nervous because I was just like, who's gonna score? Like, what's happening here? Like, who's like, can I actually put anybody? But it turns out forwards did indeed deliver throughout the postseason. And kind of made it a little hard. But as far as who I'm going to put in this top line, I'm going to actually start with a special shout out first because recency bias, this player ended up getting bumped out. But Gift Monday had a awesome goal for the Washington Spirit, and I would just want to acknowledge that and show some love. Not only did it come at the right time, like lifted the team up for a little bit. Unfortunately, ended up they had to go to extra time and then pens. But in the moment, a wonderful playoff memory made. And just shouting out this player because she scores this goal in a highly emotional moment and phase of her life. This player decided to be very open and transparent and vulnerable, not only on her social media, but also in post-game availability about how she had to spend her international window, unfortunately, mourning the tragic loss of her father. And to come back to your team and to find yourself locked in and delivering in a moment where maybe you aren't in the right state of mind, emotion, even like that can affect you physically, to deliver like that, incredible. So I just want to give her a very, very special shout out. The forwards on my line coming out of the quarterfinal, though, I got to give some love to Raylin Turner, game winner, delivering. Portland are back into the semifinal. Shout out to Raylin. And I'm going with two Gotham baddies because I'm just like, they made that happen. Jayden Shaw, incredible stuff. I'm loving the energy. And I'm 100% putting Katie Stengel on this forward list because,
Yeah,
again,
you are.
I shouted her out as a role player. She has often found herself being in that position throughout her career, really, especially within the NWSL. And delivered, even though she is someone who has had to kind of find herself playing on limited minutes. And there's no better lore than a role player finding themselves taking down the number one team on a game winner. So shout out to Katie Stengel. So that's my front line.
Here for it. No complaints. You, McCall?
Bats ensuing the darkness on Kansas City. No, I'm so happy for her. It's so cool. What a moment. She deserves it. Wait, can I say my midfield now, or what are we doing?
Yeah, go on.
Yeah,
McCall's got the midfield, of course. Let her cook.
Hands down, continuing the bat theme. Great performance.
Oh, you're putting
her.
Shaw in the midfield too.
Okay, so you're taking from me.
Yes, that's why I'm
Okay.
just telling you what I had, but I have an honorable mention, so I'll still follow up with that.
We'll iron it out. All right.
Shaw gets that 100%. First goal, banging that in. She's been brilliant since going to Gotham. Croy Bethune, man. Croy Bethune. I was reminded very quickly why she is so saucy. Rookie of the year last year, they missed her. Like, she's so quality, you guys. She's very clean on the ball, understands football very well. Love her. And then I know that this was difficult, so now I have to name two more because I wanted to anyway. So yay. Thank you, Sandra. Moultrie, you got to shout her out. She's really coming into her own, did her thing. She was important today. But I love Fazer. I it's hard for me to choose a non-winner. I want to choose someone that won. But Fazer, she's been really showing what she can do, not only for that squad, but in this league. She's super young, still just turned 22. She's in that holding position spot since Savannah McCaskill's out. I love what she does. Very good on the ball. Very important for San Diego. I can't wait to watch her next year.
Okay. I don't know if I want to give up Shaw for my forward line. Darian, you got to be a tiebreaker. You got anyone else you want to give an honorable mention to for midfield? I'm 100% here for Moultrie for sure.
Yeah.
Who else?
I'm here for Moultrie and Croy.
Okay.
I think Haley McCutcheon or Marta. We need to throw Marta in there.
Man. Should we go with
She's that blend though. Again, it's like, I don't know. Are you a forward? Are you a midfielder?
Yeah,
and she's already going to get it
off.
off.
Okay.
I like to sing for people who don't,
Then maybe we do
yell it
McCutcheon. Then maybe we do McCutcheon if that's the case.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would keep Shaw up top.
Do you think her 90-minute game was top though? Or are you saying that because she scored?
I'm absolutely saying it because she scored 100%.
I mean, yeah, Katie Stengel came in as a sub. She didn't play 90.
Yeah, I know. I'm like, I got her up there as a sub.
Is that cool, Call? You good with?
I'm into it.
The chat is split. The chat is split. I see some love for McCutcheon and I see some for Marta. They're kind of split. I don't know. We'll see.
Oof.
We'll iron it out. I don't know if our producers have figured out how to do a poll, but we'll iron that out. Who you got for the back line and the goalkeepers?
Oh yeah, that's true. Okay, let's go backline goalkeepers. I got that one this week. Kingsbury. Arbor Kingsbury, that was easy.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, clutch. Let's give her the November crown already because she loves a playoff run and loves to save some penalties.
That was
backline. I don't know. Sorry, McCall. Backline, I'm going Bernal, Sonnet, Emily Sams, and Kawasi because she was playing wing back this weekend.
Hello. What do you think of Esme Morgan though?
She had a good game.
I was into her. I thought she was solid, and then she banged that pen. I was like,
Her penalty was great, but I think she was still the third of their back line of who had a better game. Bernal and McGeown had better games than her to me.
Yeah.
I think that's fair. I honestly, I love that you're going Kawasi as a wing back, honestly.
I know, that's
like,
wild.
I mean, like
having one wing back, let her fly.
I'm here for it, actually. I'm not mad about it. I'm just kind of like, I love that, actually. I think you can, I think like folks might maybe want to, make a case for like a Wheeler or something like that. But if we're just going off vibes and like dubs, like let's keep the winners, keep those who are advancing. Listen, you're not going to get an argument for me from, over Bernal or Sonnet or even, Kawasi, I think at this point. I like it. I mean, and definitely not Kingsbury. Other than maybe Mac Arnold, like, putting up a good performance for Portland, but I mean,
she didn't have to go to Pens.
Yeah. No, yeah, that's a high pressure cooker type of a moment. So 100%. I like your defenders and goalkeeper. I like it. I'm curious to what this is going to look like coming out of the semifinals. We'll see.
It's going to be nuts. Okay, so we're set. We're good.
I'm here for it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
let's go with coach. McCall, who do you have for coach of the quarterfinals?
Rob Gale was a standout for me. His substitutions, his game plan from the very beginning. And it really stood out to me today what he's done all year with such a young squad, how he's been able to put his best foot forward, missing legends out of the game and just having to adjust with what he's had. His tactical plan has always been spot on. They've had hard times. They've had slumps. They pulled out of it. And like I said, his substitutions are always on time. His game plans are always on time. He made sense for me this weekend.
Purely for his celebrations, I also went Rob Gale.
He's also psycho, and I love that. I'm a psycho lover because I am one. But
great energy. Okay, so you're going Gale also?
Well, Sandra, who did you have?
I think, look, Rob Gale's up there. I love the energy. I even loved the energy like during our interview with Arnold, and Arnold was like, calm down, dude. Like you love to see someone very, very amped up. I'm going to give, if you are leaning more towards Gale, I think I'll make an honorable mention for Adrian Gonzalez. I think if coaching mentality is anything to go off of, he's absolutely showing it tenfold because we learned today in press availability that Black coaches willingly admitted that Bia Zanarata was playing 100 minutes on a sprained MCL, apparently. And that was not the case for Adrian Gonzalez and the Spirit. So I think that even if you've got your players who are intense competitors, you have got to sometimes make that painful call for them. And I think we absolutely have seen that from Gonzalez, not only in the postseason quarterfinal, but really throughout the duration of this season. That this is a team that had found themselves relentlessly since week 1 through 26, constantly having to figure out how to rotate players and identify a best 11. And to ask that of a coach that took the reins of a team, not only midseason, but also going into the postseason, to do it again in your opening round of the playoffs, massive congratulations. I'm sure it was very tempting to maybe have Trinity Rodman to sub in as to potentially take a sub, but that did not happen. There was enough.
So were you bothered by the lack of player safety from Vlaco?
I'm always going to be. I don't care who the coach is. It could have been Vlaco. It could have been, and if Adrian Gonzalez would have played Trinity Rodman, I would have had the same energy. So I'm very.
He's like, I can lose 2, but I can't lose 3.
Oh, you're not going to lose. I'm just giving
like, no, I'm saying like he's like, Via, you've got to push. I'm going to play you because I already lost Michelle.
No, like I'm just giving you a mention to Gonzalez. If I'm listen. Don't be nervous about my argument, McCall. If it's a good argument, you could just compliment me and say it's a good argument.
No, I hear what you're saying, but I just need to be very clear about what you're saying because
I know
if
what
you're
I'm
a little
saying.
bit upset with Vlaco, then we need to talk about it.
That's my job. I'm a reporter. I'm telling you what happened.
That's exactly what we do.
Did you know that before I reported it to you?
No, that's what I love about it. That's why I'm reacting.
So this is the best 11 segment. So I'll get back to the best 11 segment of it. So I think Adrian Gonzalez had to do a lot with very little and make difficult decisions. And his team is going through to the semifinal in part of those decisions. So I'm going to give a special shout to him as well. But I think a lot of folks and even the chat might be fans of going with Gail this week.
Okay. Well, yeah, 2-1. I also honorable mention to Seb Hines because a team that's also had a lot of doubt cast at them, they know when to pull up in big moments. Okay, let's go on to honorary captain. Can I throw a name out?
Yes.
I want to say Luana.
Oh, you're not wrong.
Yes, that's it. There's no debating that.
No, nobody's saying anything else, girl. That's it.
Okay.
Stamp it.
Overcoming cancer, getting back into playing shape, making it on your team, to then step up and score a penalty from your fellow Brazilian, Marta, and sealing the deal for your team to go to the semifinals in the NWSL playoffs. You can't write a better story, and I had tears watching that when she scored it. Even her just stepping up, I was like, I full on had tears when Marta passed her the ball.
Also super cute of Marta to give her the ball. Like,
yeah.
Oh, that deserves a moment of silence. Yeah.
Nothing. Mic drop. I mean, like, who among us were not like misty-eyed at that?
Yeah.
Like, just incredible stuff. Okay. I love it here. I love the playoffs.
I love playoffs. We love playoffs, and we're going to be back, of course, on Tuesday to talk more attacking third and recap everything we talked about tonight. Probably give you predictions for the weekend upcoming with the semifinals. Ladies, this is a great show. Appreciate you guys so much. Appreciate everybody in the chat that was jumping in. From McCall, Sandra, Phil, and our producer, Audrey, I'm Darian, and this was A3.